Is everything working? Hope it is. Because the time to be live is now. I'm playing Wood Elves. I'm playing the Woodies. The tournament is starting. Remember, it is open to all players. If you're new and you're interested in playing multiplayer, feel free to sign up. There's a new player league. There's a new player league, essentially. Where if you sign up as a new player, you're only matched against other new players. It's great. And we're going to be having some fun with Wood Elves today. Wood Elves, a very strong faction. I think one of my best factions, actually. Karev there, hello, thank you. See, Dangler's playing greenskins, who would have guessed? On the dried floodplain. But yeah, what makes this faction so good? What makes them so utterly disgusting that people usually ban them when I decide to play them? Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what. It's very simple. They have some of the best archers in the game. Who would have guessed? It's not that complicated. They are definitely the most shooty faction. Extremely dangerous to get into melee with, because they have dryads. They can kite you. The only thing they're a little weak to is factions that can beat their wild riders decisively. They don't have a good armored cav option, but that's about it. The faction is genuinely quite terrifying and difficult to deal with. So I'm very interested to see what the Dangler decides to go for here against one of the most oppressive factions in multiplayer. We're nearing the end of the faction Tryharding series. So yeah. It's just like that. We're nearing the end, which means there's only some very strong factions left. Subconsciously incorporating my lingo into your daily life. I feel like even saying lingo is kind of a thing I say a lot. At least a little bit. Though, have I said it recently? I don't know. And then we're back to the memes. Maybe. I'll have to think about it. New season for the tournament series will be starting soon. I should start setting up that Discord, shouldn't I? Create my own server. For a club or community, or for me and my friends? I'll do club or community. And we'll call it, Ent Season 1 Finals. Sure. And then the picture can be a picture of, I don't know. We'll see. What's a good picture? Sure. All right. Nice. And then I can start inviting people over. I need a channel. Rules. And yeah. And we can start inviting people. There we go. Should be good, because I actually need to get it started a little soon, so that people can get their suggestions in on what changes they want for every faction. Here's the build. I feel like having a bit of fun versus the dangler. Ready? Good luck, have fun. This is the show hope you have enough to rush me down build. It's just a block of archers. It's not elegant. It's not complicated. It's just straight up a wall of arrows. I'll see how good this is versus greenskins. Maybe they beat me here. It's green, it must be Nurgle. How's it going? Noble Naldor, still Neil, Volpara. You've never heard me say lingo? Really? Alright. Maybe I say it off of stream. Maybe I do. Blocker. I remember the blocker. I've never forgotten the blocker. Watched all this tournament tryharding and still don't understand how this tournament works. In what sense?
I hear the forest.
You just sign up to the bot and then you get matched some games. That's it. Nice and simple. Fruit rules violation? Yeah, man. Gotta, you know, if we feel like the unit needs to be restricted or something, we can get it done. But Turin usually doesn't.
Nature's fury.
So if anything, I'm just preparing Meaty Dangler for the grand finals. There's a rock lobbers. Oh, you want a caster? Okay. Sure. Sure. Triple rock lobber. Okay. Interesting. How do I want to deal with that? If I just try and rush in now, he's gonna be a menace. I could just let's just line up. Let's just shoot him to death. This is a lot of artillery. It's kind of expensive. I just need to make sure I get to my units in. But this army is very good at just crushing face. I'm here. I positioned my camera here so that I can hear them shoot. That part's very important. Look at them target firing. You think they can hit my archers? Not today, buddy. Unless you retarget. Oh. Very quiet artillery piece, isn't it? Oh, there you go. Still pretty good. So we've dodged the first volley. That's going to buy me 10 seconds of blasting time. And then, yeah, they're just going to start shooting them up. Should be pretty straightforward. Just got to keep dodging. He's summoned, so I don't have to feel threatened. And then if we just keep dodging with the archers, he should never be able to hit me, really. Them's archers are pretty good. Let's hide the cav in the forest. Ah, he's retargeted. He's noticed that I am a man of dodging. Thankfully, my guys can dodge and shoot at the same time. It's a great thing about Wood Elves. It's a little bit to micro. It's a little bit extra to micro, but it's still very good. Let's start pushing in. Let's get my sneaky cavalry in. Let's brutalize Azag. Dodge again. And then let's just start blitzing the poor guy. Get a little bit of focus fire. Should be able to shut down that artillery. And then I just gotta stop this cavalry from being too much of an issue, but that's not too bad. You can see his lord's taking a lot of damage. That's good. Let's get the blade wind over here. I gotta really focus fire these guys. I want them to be not problematic. No time for dodging either. We must get in here. Into the fight. As things are about to get pretty wild. Now his lord has taken pretty massive damage. That's good. But man, the wall of archers is just painful, ain't it? He gets a Bunar off. Totally fine by me. Just pull back with the Wild Riders. And then next up, we gotta start killing his archers. This little pocket over here is not a big deal. With that Buna though, kind of nasty. He's gonna rout off my Wild Riders. No, it seems like they might live. Run, Wild Riders, run! They're doing the best. Yo, they may live. What heroes. Very nice. So far, so good. This little fight is a little awkward, but I think we're still doing relatively okay. Azag is quite overextended, actually. So I'm just going to, yeah, pull apart a little bit. And then maybe just shoot him to death. He's very overextended, actually. I think I can just straight up kill him, and if he dies, the game's basically over. So I'd be a little worried for my opponent if I were him. As a Doom Bolt drops. Yeah, he's getting a lot of cav in, though. I have to be a little careful. I gotta properly kill Azag too, if I want this to go well. It's not entirely great for me just yet, though. I think this little pocket doing so well for themselves is gonna be great. And if I get another Wild Rider, I should be in the clear. Losing your Lord as the Greenskins is gonna be rough. There you go. Let's get that Wild Rider going, and then I think I'll just escort him off with these here archers. That should be more than enough. Meanwhile, I do still have a triple cap. How very convenient for me. Let's just keep running with these guys. But yeah, as soon as Azag dies, I think that's when we're gonna get a lot of an advantage. Come on, though, just kill him. Hey, there we go. All right, nice. Very nice. Okay, and then I can just shoot that guy to death. These gobbos are definitely done for. And then I'll just start running him down with this. But without a Lord, he's basically screwed. Did that guy just dodge a Doom Bolt? Dude, what's with these Doom Bolts, man? I swear, these days, Doom Bolt sometimes feels like it misses a lot. I don't know what's going on. This is only 1 point, by the way. I should be fine. Even though it is little interesting how the situation is playing out. There's a lot of squigs coming in, actually. I think at the end of the day, I just have a little too much of an advantage with the big route on Azag. He's not resummoning the guy either. So I believe my opponent to be dead. Though, man, they are grinding it out fairly well. If I can keep the grind even, it's still good for me, though. I just have to kill all these here pump wagons. I have to finally rout off this big boss before he becomes an issue. It's kind of crazy. I'm just barely getting these routes in. Oh, and finally, okay. Another Wild Rider. This is not actually an optimal build versus Greenskins, by the way. It's obviously very oppressive when it's working, but you can see how easily they can just jump your lines. You do have to be a little careful. Still, though, without his Lord, life is going to be rough. And game number 1 is looking like a comfortable win. A fun one with much pew-pew. Which is exactly what I wanted. Whoops, those squigs. We got jumped by the squigs. We got some orc boys over here. I got some guys over there too. Okay, I have to be a little bit careful. The rallying units are such a menace. Still, though, at the end of the day, a triple cap's a triple cap. Not much that can be done about that. Wild Riders are Wild Riding. And if I keep spamming Wild Riders and just trade into his cavalry, that should basically be the end of him. Kind of wonder how much value his artillery got. Surprisingly low. The artillery were quite lackluster, it seems. A little unfortunate. How'd my archers do? Let's take a look at this one. Dang, pretty good. Elven archers, man. They're just solid. Also, he really hasn't been able to use any of his magic. Very unfortunate. Is that a sneaky goblin over there? I think it is. But yeah, I feel like if he didn't have the rock lobbers, it could have been much better. GG. Archers did pretty good. Definitely want to mix in more dryads generally, but we got the sick micro. Dodging the rock lobbers at the start was great. GG. Ruglud's not bad. One of his archers actually did pretty good for themselves. The Night Goblin big bosses were there just for the squig summon, which is very smart. But having Azag overextend, the big blunder. Still, though, well played. Meaty Danglers, Greenskins is something to be respected. The fact that even after Azag dies, he's still widening the value gap is wild. Or you mean shrinking it? Or did he have value over me? If he had more value than me, then that's just a value tracker being silly. Death by 1,000 arrows. Khorne is displeased. Yeah, this is... Wood Elves are they just the opposite of Khorne? They have magic, the shooting all the time. They do have some pretty good melee units, though. I don't think they're fully anti-Khorne. All right, all right. Gotta make sure tournament's running smoothly. It is, thank goodness. So this is like a very extreme build. I don't think I'll be doing this much all the time, because you end up just getting pushed back. You can spam the infantry though. That's pretty helpful. Like there is a, you know, there's just a wild idea where you just... You just start with all the ranged, and then you just spam only infantry. And then what are they even supposed to do? They would need to go very wide, kind of like that greenskin build. I know artillery can also be pretty okay. Parmenian. Yo, yo. Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. Oh. Allergy season. Alright. What are we looking at? Norskin Rise and their High Elves. Wait, that's a good matchup. High Elves and Wood Elves are, yeah, that's actually not bad for them. In terms of the overall shenanigans that can be pulled. I'd be a little worried. Playing as a Wood Elf player. We'll see what they sneak in. I think personally, in this matchup, you should always run Tempest. It's just a little too good to pass up. And then second spell can be, I don't know, Hand of Glory. Apotheosis, Arcane Unforging. I don't really have a great second spell. On a map like this, maybe I can do this, sure. But alright. The real craziness here is how in the world are you supposed to deal with 1,000,000 High Elf archers? Because you can just spam Lothar and Seaguard into the horizon. And life will feel bad. So, you need to be able to handle that, first and foremost. What's a strat? There's a few. You can try and outshoot them, but High Elf archers tend to outtrade Glade Guard. You need a little bit of finagling to pull it off. Using skirmishers can help because they need to get vision of you. And to get vision, they need to push their single entities or cavalry into dangerous positions. We know that is very useful. Stag Knights are not bad here. You do basically need armor piercing. Without armor piercing, well, your cavalry is just not very effective versus the high elves. And then you also need a little bit of infantry clearing power. Without a good amount of infantry clear, they can just tank your volleys until you're out of ammo. And then you'll also get wrecked. So there's a few things. Just a few things to worry about. I'd say this matchup is not impossible for either side. I think both sides can do really well. And it mostly comes down to who manages it slightly better. But thankfully for me, I have played this matchup a lot of times. So I think I'll be okay. Let's try this. Ooh. He had a 1.2k value extra. Then after Azag died, the value got widened in favor for Dangler. Dang. Meaty Dangler had the value lead. I would bet they didn't actually though, and the game is just not tracking range damage properly. Spells is where the value tracker fails the hardest. But it also does really bad at it's also really bad at tracking ranged attacks too. Maybe I can get that modded in. Alright, here we go. Very simple build. So I'm just gonna go quad-way watcher. Gonna park them right here on the far side by the trees. Keep them safe. I'm gonna throw everyone into the trees except for maybe the way stalkers. And the idea is maybe I get some sick arrows of Kurnos. Maybe they'll try pushing up with their lord or something to spot my way watchers. And then the way stalkers just crush them. It's nice and simple. They have gone for the Archer Core. Sea Lord Acelin. Shadows Caster with Melkoths. Very standard fare, nothing too insane. This is quite Archer heavy. Maybe I could have cav rushed them, but I feel fine about this. Reavers are not a big deal, and then I just need to make it where my archers are focusing one, so that even if they do shoot back, it's only a handful of them. Basically that. I'm also going to try some shenanigans, because I love shenanigans. And nothing better than a random soul quench out of the trees, if you're not expecting it. Sometimes, it can do pretty good damage. Just like that. He don't got quenched. And then I'm just gonna shoot a volley and then disappear into the trees. So far, so okay, I'd say. Though that volley was pretty painful. What are these guys doing though? They're really coming at me. These here archers. Way stalkers will be good though. Hey, what are you planning? You planning a sick Melkoths play or something? Let's get a bit of a volley. We got the Dryads coming through. Disappearing once again. Okay, and then the Waystalker's got to focus this Mage of Shadows because they're just going to keep Melkothsing me. This is why sometimes it's better to just get the heal, but whatever, it's okay. Dodge the quench by turning to face these guys. Very smart. But yeah, that caster's getting bullied. Oh, jeez. Okay, they have skirmishers of their own. I guess I should have seen that coming. Whoop. Okay, my Weight Watchers took a bit of deeps from the Eltharian stealth trap. That's okay though. It's Arrows of Kurnos at caster. Get some sweet vengeance. Ooh. There we go. Okay, and there's the Shadow Warriors. So wondering what was getting so much damage in. That makes a lot of sense now, doesn't it? So they're a little annoying. Ooh, caster's actually shut down completely. Wonderful. Then I can just full volley these guys with the Weight Watchers. Oof, brutal. Very nice. Let's give them some quenching. They seem a bit thirsty. Whoop, they stealthed. That's okay, the soul quench still went out. And then the question is, what am I gonna do with these stag knights? Have to be a little careful with them. You also have to be very wary of the cav coming in. Gonna need some cavalry of my own for sure. We're just gonna blitz these reavers with a big ol' volley. That should just get them routed. Though it's gonna... Oh! Barely got the route. Okay, I don't need to worry about these reavers then. And now I can use my superior cavalry advantage to just kill off all of his ranged. Nice and simple. Not too bad. It was a little sketchy for a second. That cav rush almost got me. But at the end of the day, Weight Watcher volleys are so freakishly painful. You eat one volley and the match is basically over. It's brutal. The way it is. Should be able to get the pretty nice Arrows of Kurnos on them. Should be able to get pretty nice Arrows of Kurnos on them. Let's get another Weight Watcher volley over here real quick. Oh my goodness, that's so much damage. The almost instant route too on them. Oh, and there they go. They ain't coming back. Very nice. Okay, now we're setting up for a basic late game. It's just a basic cleanup late game. Just capture 1 point at a time and life will be good. The Sea Lord ain't got nothing on this. I gotta slow down these spears though. Alley-oop, just have to be a little careful about them. They'll go with that. There goes that unit over there. Do we get the slow? I whiffed it. I biffed it. I can't believe it. It's okay. At the end of the day, as long as my lord doesn't randomly die to Aislinn, I'm happy. Almost let him get caught, which would have been very embarrassing. But she can just hide in the trees. It's fine. Don't want to accidentally friendly fire my forces. Okay. And goodbye, Spearman. Very nice. Okay, next up. These archers need a killing. Should be able to bully them in a pretty straightforward fashion. I'm gonna have to dip out of this situation. Oh, you got some units back. Ouch. Okay. Alright, guys, going for the Lord Snipe. Should be a little careful about that. This is a bad engagement. I don't know why I decided to take it. It's okay though. As long as my lord doesn't die, I'm happy. Should be able to kill off these archers. And you know what? If my lord's low HP can distract these guys from shooting my Weight Watchers, I'll take it. I'll happily settle for that. Because the Weight Watchers at the end of the day are so much more important. Yes. Be distracted, my good friend. Okay, can we get the reload in time for killing these guys off, though? I think we should be able to. They are Weight Watchers, after all. Extremely menacing unit. I don't think a single unit of cavalry has actually contacted my Weight Watchers until right about now. And man, before, they really weren't doing much. Very nice. It's gonna chuck out another Melkoth, so that's okay. Gonna be a little frivolous with my ammo just because I don't want my Weight Watchers to die and then lose the opportunity. There we go. And this should be pretty unrecoverable for the High Elves. They simply do not have much left in the way of anything. My lord is still alive. Aislinn might even die to a Mega Weight Watcher volley if he's not careful. Oh, big damage. Aislinn, you better run, man. You better run. It ain't looking pretty for your boy Aislinn. I think he's a goner, guys. He's gonna try and dodge, but it shall not be enough. And now I just need to capture the last point. Huzzah! Rare Anticity Lord survives. Very nice. Can I get this caster killed too? Oh, she didn't dodge. Oh, she was trying to kill my lord. Yo, this guy is so bloodlusted to kill my lord, man. Yo, low HP lords are actually the best bait. I swear, starting with a low HP lord is the strat. I guarantee you guys. If you haven't tried taking damage early on with your lord and then dodging, people will sacrifice everything. All right, so it's a victory. Our next opponent is Potatoes Devil. Gotta get my opponents. Ooh, yo. All right. And that's gonna be +1 win. Wood Elf so far doing pretty good. All right. Potatoes Devil, they are playing Grand Cathay. Ooh. On Brave Alley. Okay, all right. This one should be fun. And counting his chickens before they hatch by already calling the survival of his lord. It's true. Yo, Tree Man Rush? That sounds pretty jokes. But alright, Cathay. How do you beat Grand Cathay? I think I have a fun strat. Wood Elves Monster Mash win? If there's one thing they're not very good at, sadly, it is the Monster Mash. That one doesn't really do you very much. Yeah, I have a positively devious build. I have a truly devious build. Yes. Yes. This could be sick. It could also suck. But I think definitely this is a build that can get some good work done if I maneuver correctly. Grand Cathay got a lot of sick buffs. They got a lot of sick buffs, but at the end of the day, it's still mostly Cathay, at least from what I've seen, having faced them. Which means this build should do okay? Maybe. Alright. Was this a Koi got kicked? What happened? Did he actually? I feel like I didn't hear anything about this. I would imagine Reddit post. I'd imagine if they did get kicked, it's probably because of Creative Assembly's bureaucracy. I could totally see how, like, you know, you do something wrong and the company's kind of just gotta do what it's gotta do. With big companies, it's kind of like, you know, they don't act like an individual person. I think that's a big misconception people usually have about big companies. So you're going to have a lot of, like, minor or, you know, even big inefficiencies to keep other processes working because there's just so many people involved. But, you know, hopefully Okoi can get that solved and fixed up. Just a 3-month suspension, yeah. Yeah, it seems like kind of like you know, it seems like one of those things that a company's just kind of supposed to do, or not like supposed to do, but like, yeah, supposed to do so that they don't run into any issues, right? Just in case some news blows up where, you know, someone's just like, Creative Assembly supports this thing and they didn't do anything about it. Yeah, at least that would be my guess of the situation. I have not looked at it at all, so who knows. CA gave a clear response why it's understandable. Yeah, you know, I do have a rough idea that usually if something seems very unreasonable from the outside, there's at least more reasoning that people give it credit for. Not saying that it's always the best reason, but that's just kind of how it be sometimes. It's similar to me not stating my full opinions about the matter right now as I speak. Good old cover your butt. All right, fun stuff though. Fun times. Okay, take a look. I have a devious build. So what if I make him think? What if I make him think I'm going for like some sort of crazy Waywatcher build? And then all of a sudden, all my units rush out of the trees and then they die. It could be sick. Now, if they spot this early, I'm gonna have to de-blob my infantry real fast. But the idea is very straightforward. They need to think that I am going for some sort of max stealth rush, because this screams Waywatcher spam.
The forest song.
It screams Waywatcher spam. Oh, hell yeah. This is what I wanted. Okay, we got crane gunners. And we got a Blood Dragon Lord. She has Jade Shield, some Dragon's Breath. That's fine. And then if they over advance, then I could potentially get some insane work done. Unfortunately for me, the cav unit's just beelining me right now. I should still be able to get a little bit of work done though. He sees me. He sees me. Can he stop the rush though? It's such a crazy rush. Ultra stealth cavalry diving on in. He chucks out the dragon's breath to catch them, but they're too fast. Hell yeah. Ah, hell yeah. Right in the cookie jar. Super stealth. You see them just run right past the Jade Lancers there? I don't know if he was even looking at it. That's gonna be nice. Okay, Wild Riders killing the crowmen in the trees. Beautiful. Gonna try and slip through a few more. Then I gotta get my infantry in here. You can see the cavalry's been extremely out of position. Okay, we're gonna keep running in with the boys. The hope is once I get my infantry support going, we'll be okay. Crane gunners are all dead though. It's a big plus. We did manage to catch the cavalry. Really good. And then hopefully I can kill off the crowmen too. Basically, I just need to rush down all the units, all the ranged infantry, and then we can go from there. That's the plan. I have a capture point. Wild Riders are fairly good in a long melee grind. If I can just destroy all the harmony bonuses that he's getting, I should be okay. You see the Wild Riders are actually really cooking. But this is not exactly a super sustainable fight. Even though I am winning pretty hard right now. The longer I stay here, the more likely it is that my opponent comes back. So I do have to be a little careful. But so far so good. The Tempests have been great. And the infantry are completely and utterly surrounded. So I guess that's pretty good. In fact, they even get chased off the map pretty easily too. Oh my goodness, dude. They're so unprepared for this. Shenanigans! Get shenaniganed! Oh man. People say there's no creativity left. People think it's just Glade Guard spam. Nah, man. We got infantry rushes. Hell yeah. Very nice. GG, well played. Oh man, they misplayed the one cav just sneaking in there. That was brutal. Oh man, yeah, they spec'd into having extra magic damage, but this army just had too little. So they just got rushed down into oblivion. And it hits so fast. And you don't expect the stealth too. The stealth is terrifying. Okay, we're up against Caradoc next. Yo, yo. Oh, man. Corn is pleased. Dude. Dude, that's so brutal, man. The 5-minute game. I will say, when I start playing these stronger rush factions, it's perfect. All right, let's take a look. We got my opponent. Dryads beat Tigerman. Yes. Though with the price reduction, it's a little better for them. But I think Dryads trade into Tigerman at least even, maybe even slightly better. Winning with melee only Wood Elves. Yeah, I did have some contingency guys though. But yeah, it's pretty sick. I think the only thing that I could really do to make this build better is to find a way to add terror. But I can't really think of easy ways to do that. Man, that was rough though. Just absolutely jumped. This crane gunners never saw it coming. How do you feel about Wood Elves? How do they compare to other factions? I think Wood Elves is A tier at least. And probably not S tier because they get countered. But they are quite good. Okay, Beastmen. How do I want to face Beastmen? I know there's a new meta around people spamming Swift Shiver Shards. You know what Beastmen kind of suck against though? Just like one of these builds. You should be able to tell roughly what I'm going for based off the spam clicking. Yeah, this is just... like, this is just standard Wood Elf madness, isn't it? Yep. Yepperoos. This is indeed a very annoying build for the Beastmen to beat. I wish I could take 10 Dryads. They really need Dryads with slightly longer fingers or something. Dryads with great weapons. Dryads dual wielding. That would do it. I think honestly, Wood Elves would probably be A tier faction with just Glade Guard and Dryads with an uncapped limit. As dumb as that is, I think that might actually be true. Which might make you think the faction is OP, but doing that doesn't actually change the faction very much. In fact, they would be slightly weaker because no Zotes. And Zotes are kind of king. Do I want Azrai Spears? They did get a price reduction, but I don't think they're very worth it. I think if I just do this, I'll be okay. Beastmen are... they're a very okay faction. Like, they're obviously very strong, but like, just in some matchups, you can really feel their lack of punch sometimes. I don't know how to describe it, because sometimes Beastmen are just terrifying with the amount of damage they can get done quickly. But I think the faction really relies on breaking apart formations. And if they can't manage that, they're kind of just screwed. They're really reliant on their cavalry to do well. So you kind of have like a really tall tower, but it's not sturdy. It's very good at being tall, but you just have to remove like a couple of the supports and it falls down. And yeah, I really do wonder what Caradoc's gonna do here against this. There is a chance that they just absolutely crump me too. But I think they would need a very specific build. Watch out for Cygors. Yeah, I gotta be a little careful about Cygors. The biggest thing about Beastmen is they're just always gonna be faster than you. So just make sure that you don't overextend. Don't go too wide, and then you should be okay. Alpha strike build instead of a grindy build. Yeah. So like a lot of rush builds, because domination is so defensively favored, the rush builds are... they're basically a way you can exploit your opponent having a very skewed range build. So you have to rush immediately before they summon too much melee and they can actually defend your rush. And the window closes very fast. You basically need to go full throttle just because of how domination works. Cygors are meta now. They're okay. I would say Cygors are used, maybe not full meta. It's been a little tech that Beastmen are running to deal with certain builds. Dryads, Swift Shiver Shards, Wombo Combo. I think Dryad Swift Shiver Shard builds are... they're good, but like everyone's expecting them right now. And there's a handful of ways you can beat them. Swift Shiver Shards are pretty expensive, so you can just tank their arrows with Silver Shields. Like, I think we're basically guaranteed to see Zongors. I would be extremely surprised if we didn't see a million Zongors. So, yeah. In an alternate reality where Zotes are king. Yo. Against Bretonia, I will say Zotes are pretty scary. The Zote build versus Bretonia, they get the work done. And I think with that meta shift, that's what makes Wood Elves so terrifying nowadays. They just have that little bit of extra oomph. Dryads with light armor. Pigback Dryads. You learned yesterday you can just infantry max Bretonia. I learned yesterday that you can't just infantry max Bretonia. I think it, well, you can't halberd max. Infantry max can be a bit better. As long as you can beat their front line and have enough halberds in the back line to defend your infantry, you're pretty good to go. Yeah. Corn, halberd, spam. One Wrathmonger, man. One Wrathmonger would have done it. Dryads with poison. That's funny. Wait, do they naturally have poison? No. They have magic attacks. Actually, I should change my banner. What should I take? Let's do this one. Make it look like a Beastman banner. Watching me spam anti-large against Danican had you screaming. Yeah, I just haven't faced Bretonia often enough with their usual counters to have a good sense of what I need to do to beat them. Especially because I also play Bretonia quite differently. So just like an infantry, you know, just like a standard normal looking Bretonia build kind of just thrashed me. It's all good though. Look at this. So this is a fun build. It is yet another Glade Guard block. But the idea is I'm going to have a lot more melee infantry. So I need to be able to hold off the Beastmen rush. But there's one thing that we know, and it's that Beastmen are really bad against man-tides. So I'm just going to man-tide. Got our Lord, she's gonna hide in the trees. I'm gonna keep my cavalry in the trees too, so I can Loix Blessing stealth these guys. This is my favorite spell to catch people off guard, because even if you are a top player, it's very easy to accidentally have your cavalry get caught. You have about like 1 second tops to react if your cavalry is getting charged by Loix Blessing, and that's because they have Unspottable. They'll have Unspottable, which makes a very big difference. Now, as expected, we do see some Zongors. So I'm just going to get some Wildwood Rangers, and I'm not going to spec too hard in the mobility. Some Centigores, a Praeton, okay, that's kind of crazy. That's just, okay, that's just a Praeton over here, sure. Well, I'm just going to take a defensive formation by this wall. This map is pretty good for that. And then I'm just going to start spamming Wildwood Rangers. I need these guys to beat the Zongors. Whoops, Lord has to stay in the trees. She has that sick Blessing of the Ancients buff. Alright, there we go. And then if the Centigores decide to try and come in here, they're going to be surprised by the Wild Riders and maybe sandwiched by my reinforcements. So I'm feeling pretty good so far. Should be able to get a good amount of work done. Someone's in a War Gore. Okay. So a lot of single entity shenanigans. I wonder how I feel about that. Maybe we'll see a build-up. Ooh, I can kind of surprise him with these archers in the trees. You got Malagor with Flock of Doom, pretty normal. This is all very normal. Question is, when will they take the fight? Are we gonna see a Beastman build up maybe? The Praeton is insane. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, good stuff. We're gonna be dodging a bit. There's no point really trying to kill Malagor. He ain't gonna die. And he's just gonna chuck a Flock of Doom over there. That's fine. He's gonna charge some of my archers. Also fine. The guy's just trying to get a little bit of poke in. He's gonna do more dodging. Gotta be careful I don't accidentally run out of ammo or something. That's another Wargore. So this is like a very... It's like a very infantry heavy Beastman build. Or not, a single entity heavy Beastman build. It's interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. It's gonna keep dodging with Malagor. I should be able to get close enough to bully the Wargores at least. They are on foot. I just have to make sure this cav flank doesn't get too much work in. But I should have enough infantry here where they can kind of stand their ground on their own. Okay, here comes a big rush. So I'll just pull back. Maybe we get some focus fire on these Zongors over here. Malagor will get a little low. He does get a pretty solid Flock of Dooming though. That part's pretty annoying, but if I can kill a Zongor for my troubles, I think it's not too bad. Okay, and there finally the cavalry's coming in. So we'll just get these guys charged. Then I'm going to surprise these fools. A little bit of magic. So this should work out pretty well for me, I think. Archers should be able to dip out of this situation just fine. And then we're going to get another unit of cavalry over here. He indeed just gets charged by the Wild Riders. In a devastating situation, taking a ton of damage. Okay, and the question is, will they be able to push into my formation? So I'm gonna need to split up these guys. The cavalry's dead at least. And then I'm gonna speed amp my guys so that they can get even more work done. At least that is the hope. Centaurs I should just be able to charge. The Dryads seem like they're doing pretty good. I'd say this is an okay place to be. It's nothing too crazy. You know, we have some infantry maybe overextending. It's okay. Never mind. Value trading says it's amazing. Never mind, we're good. If I can just keep the value trade up, I'm happy. Praeton technically has 1,000,000 missile resist, but the thing still dies to damage. You can still just kill it. Like anything else. Wargore should be similar. They may be infantry size, but I think we'll just kill them. And then if I keep spamming my cav, I should be okay. Let's speed amp my guys again. Speed amping is very important here for keeping your units kiting properly. Just a couple Centaurs, not a big deal. We'll just focus them. Praeton is a little annoying, but I still think we're doing okay for ourselves. I just have to finish off these Centaurs here that might be pushing into my lines. They could very well be problematic because there's a lot of them. In fact, my opponent might even be able to pull back some value if I'm not careful. But yeah, just big old lines of infinite archers. We got layers here. That's just gonna make life very tough. And indeed, we get a pretty nice charge over there. And then I think I might even be able to kill his lord if I'm lucky. So that one's gonna be a little bit dicier. They are tiny bit exposed, and I'm thinking maybe we can just beat them up. Look at those Dryads absolutely crushing it. Are they going to be able to secure this point? I don't think so. Those Ungors are getting beat up pretty bad. Come on, can we kill Malagor though? If I lose this point, it's not the end of the world. I'm focused on just value trading right now. And so far, so okay.
Following fate's call.
Yeah, it's only okay right now, right? The thing is, I really need my cav advantage here to kick in. He got a pretty nasty flock of doom on me too, and we know there's gonna be some mobility coming in. Now this Wild Rider charge on the Praeton should still get a lot of damage in, and these Dryads are still nigh unkillable. But I have to be careful. I know there's cavalry over here that's being built up, so I have to be super wary that I actually manage that, because if they jump out and kill everything, I'm just screwed. I'm gonna need more cavalry of my own, essentially, is what I'm saying. If I can kill off these Wargors though, I'm happy. Dryads are still doing pretty well for themselves, and the Praeton is slowly but surely dying. We still have the double cap and the high ground point. Very good. And these Ungors, I'm just gonna ignore them. Like, yes, we have a few Ungors on the flank that I gotta worry about, but I don't think they're going to be the end of the world for me, because at the end of the day, the Ungors are a little slow, and I can focus on killing the cavalry instead, and you know, Malagor and the like, before I deal with these guys, because they're just that slow. I can actually just kite them with my infantry, so what's the big deal, right? At least that's my thought process. You can see the kitening is going. I think I do want to get some Dryads now, though, just to deal with them, since these Razorgors are a little beat up. This is mostly just because I see infantry here. I'm not too worried about being rushed down. We're going to triple cap soon, which is very good. Yeah, let's just kill off these Razorgors before they become a big issue. And I'll use the Wild Riders to mop these guys up. It's a little awkward, I must say, but still pretty good for me. They've even rampaged into a bad situation. And it's all about keeping these archers alive. First and foremost, if these archers live, it's basically GG. So I'm going to charge these guys. I'm going to charge these guys. And I think they should be all right. Let's take a look. Malagor surviving was definitely unfortunate for me, but I got some pretty good cav charges. Praeton is actually being a lot more annoying than I thought it would be. That part's pretty funny. But I get another... Oh, not quite. Gonna get another Melkoths. We're going to keep spamming. That was a Dryad. Whoopsies. It's fine. I need them to kill the Ungors anyways. A little sloppy towards the late game. I think many of my archers are just kind of everywhere right now. I'm just going to pull back, reform ranks, and then we can go from there. But I have a triple cap right now. And I think Beastmen are simply just going to lose out on time. Ended up being a very interesting game. I will say they played quite well by making me advance so far forwards. That made me feel pretty uncomfortable. But the late game situation is definitely playing out well for me. Where I'm just, yeah, at the end of the day, I just had a very scary composition. They still haven't captured the middle, by the way. So it's just a straight up triple cap. Centaurs versus these Dryads on the high ground it'll simply take too long for them to be killed off. Malagor will live. Caradoc's a very strong player, but I think it is simply not going to be enough. I could even summon Wild Riders here to fight off those Centaurs, but I'm gonna do what I said earlier and focus on not overextending. How much value did the Praeton get? It did not pay for itself. Dude, that's sad. I thought the Praeton would be a little better. You know, I thought maybe with all the missile units I had, it wouldn't be too bad. But no, the Praeton just kind of... Praeton just kind of sucks. Overall, its value is very low. Let's take a look here. What are we seeing? Ah, no, he just runs out of time. Wasn't even paying attention to the time. Wasn't pressured very much. I just had to value trade. Not bad. GG. It's another win for the Wood Elves. Mass Archer strikes again. Beastmen are pretty weak versus Mantides. Wood Elves can't Mantide as hard as other factions, so it's a little sketchier. But yeah. The Malagor was cool. They did a good job avoiding Melkoths. I like that. We had a some sick Razorgore plays, but the problem with Beastmen Cavalry is they really don't like getting shot at by archers. So if you just have so many dudes, they can't shut them all down. When they do charge in, they end up just getting blasted, and life is rough. Wargors were interesting. They were very hard to dislodge, but they didn't get a lot of value generally. So after I dealt with the cavalry, we could just shoot them to death. I like the Tuskor Chariot, but I was pretty fortunate to have caught it with my cavalry. And of course my units just did very well. Infantry traded well and held the line, and my cavalry just crushed it. Not too bad. GG. How do you counter a Wood Elf build like this with a faction like Empire? Usually artillery is the way to go. Artillery or like long rifles, anything to outrange these guys is really good. And then Wood Elves have to start doing stuff like this to stop that outranging. You gotta go double waist stalker. So you might need to deal with 6 arrows of Kurnos. And that's pretty annoying. I'm aware. Wood Elves do have a tool for it. But now, if this is their build, you can start thinking about ways to counter this. Because it's going to naturally be a lot less ranged. There's a lot less holding power. So maybe you can pull off a cav rush. If they're worried about cav rushes, then they just start going more melee. But then you can start adapting your build to this. If there's not a lot of range, you can just outshoot them with like a bunch of huntsmen. So you kind of have to predict what they're going for. But Wood Elves can't bring a build for everything. They always sacrifice something to deal with whatever you bring. The Praeton didn't get its damage value, but would all the arrows at 8 be worth its price? Definitely not. Think about it. Imagine I had an army of only Glade Guard and they had an army of only Praetons. I would just shoot them all. They would die. And then the game would be over, right? You know, very rarely does ammo usage pay off unless you're taking like no damage and you're dodging for a very long time. But if I ever feel like I'm running low on ammunition, I just stop shooting. So it's really not a big deal. The amount of missile resist they would need to uptrade is insane. You can tell because even in campaign, a lord with 99% ward save will still die to a couple handgunners if they just sit there and get shot. So even if your resistance is insane, you can still probably get your value back. Assuming they're not dodging. If you're dodging with the Praeton, it gets less worth. But because I was getting a lot of my shots while it was landed, it's not a big problem. Yeah, but what if Wood Elves bring the arrows of Kurnos? Yeah. So Wood Elves can't take a melee front line and arrows of Kurnos and a wide archer line. So if you treat it like a rough rock, paper, scissors, you know, Cav Max will beat too many archers and waystalkers. Artillery will beat a lack of waystalkers. And then range units will beat too much melee. And that continues even if you use your reinforcements. Meaty Dangler again. Last match before the top 4. Let's see how they do. Shielded Mantide. Shielded Mantide can be good. You can see my lines almost broke down. I think if Beastmen took just a raw Goreherd Mantide and they have more units than me, then my range units are going to be a lot worse. The strength of the Mask Blade Guard build is that it covers... Like, here's the thing. If you might have one build that beats it, but the Mask Blade Guard build beats 2 of your builds. 2 out of your 3 builds, and it loses to 1. So, as long as the Wood Elf player knows how to mix it up, it's going to be rough. And even if you do counter them, it can still be a bit of an uphill battle just because Wood Elves are quite strong. So, yeah. You gotta be wary. Let's try something like this time. I'm feeling a little wild with this one. But yeah, generally speaking, Wood Elves don't like long-ranged units. We're talking like lead belchers, long rifles, mortars. That's where they will suffer a lot more. In fact, Ogre lead belcher builds are... it's probably the best counter to Wood Elf Kite. Because they outrange your archers, and at the end of the day, you have a glass cannon build. So, yeah, you can't just get taken to Pound Town. Okay, this should be really interesting. How do I feel about this build? You know, I could do something like this instead. Let us have a bit of fun. Oh boy. Okay, kind of a weird build. I do still think this one has teeth, but it is a very weird build. We'll see what Meaty Dangler decides to bring. That will really affect how this pans out. Meaty Dangler likes to go for the infantry core. Basically just a fat blob of infantry. They did have artillery last time though. They had the Rock Lobber special. But I should be able to shut that down. Or maybe I just tank it. I guess I do probably need to shut down the Rock Lobber special. The thing is, I don't know if I want to start with double Waystalker. So I think I'm probably okay trading tickets for... Yeah, I'm trading tickets. If I put Waystalkers in reserve and Dangler has a bunch of artillery, I'll need to take my time to summon the Waystalkers and then take even more time to kill the artillery. And in that time, Dangler has the advantage and can capture the points. But I'm hoping, because the map is a little awkward, I'm hoping that I will be able to hold on to at least one of the points here. And that should buy me enough time to kill the artillery with my Waystalkers. Fingers crossed. Watch him just Cav Max me. The scary thing about Warhammer is you can always just have your build completely and utterly hard countered. That's why you have to introduce some RNG. Tritons are quite tragic. I think once we do the big pass. The big unit rebalance pass. Phaetons. Maybe we'll give them a price reduction. They don't do enough damage to be oppressive. So it should be fine if they get buffed. By the way, here's the build. Triple Zote. My man went for a 19 stack of units. Okay. So the funny thing about this build is it's basically the anti-Bretonian build. You have a bunch of starting infantry, some Zotes, and just a couple archers. Just a handful of archers to poke away and control a little bit more space, but not enough to be vulnerable. This is very strong to the rush. And if Meaty Dangler has gone for a lot of infantry, in theory, my Wildwood Rangers should just crush it, especially with Drycha support. Drycha is very good with builds like this too, because she can buff up all the units since you don't have a lot. So I think it'll be okay. Waste Stalkers for the artillery pieces. We'll see if that's effective or not. And then, of course, Triple Zote has just a million ways to stand their ground. Flesh to Stone, Earth Blood. It's great. And they're ready. Let's see. And these games have been so rapid fire. Well, we got some Rugloods. We got some Squig Herds. 19 units. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 3 units that I don't see. Interesting. Now, what might you be doing there? Do I want the Waste Stalkers? It's a pretty chunky army. I don't know if Arrows of Kronos could do that much. Azag is on foot. He has Buna. Okay. We're gonna see an artillery piece. Black Orcs. Okay. So this is definitely an archer situation. But then what? So we have some Black Orcs in there. We got some Gobbo Spears. Drycha definitely wants to just fight them. I'm gonna get all my Zotes in here to get this point secured. And then I have some decisions to make. Do I take the fight? My build is very fighty, but I think with the archer support, I'm not doing enough DPS to win it. So I'm just gonna use my very, very meek archer support here to just start grinding. Drycha's happy to take damage because there's nothing that can actually kill her. And of course I have tons of buffs to keep her alive. Squig Herd is kind of an awkward unit to Melkoths because they're so low in they're so cheap in terms of cost, but they also have very little HP, so I think that's a fine trade. And then we're just gonna poke. Drycha's perfect for this. We already routed off one of those little gobbos. But now what? Okay, so we have a Night Goblin Big Boss. I think I do want me some cavalry. This is some Orc boys. Oh, okay, the double Night Goblin Big Boss on the Drycha. Interesting. I'm gonna give her some Fizz Res. Just make her really annoying. Then I'm gonna Melkoths another Squig Herd. Just gonna pull back a smidge. I see there's some summons on the far side, so I'll counter summon. In the meantime, Dredge is doing pretty good. Yeah, the physical resist makes her basically indestructible. Savage Orc Arrow Boys don't stand a chance versus triple archers. They'll just down trade. And then I could make Drycha invincible again. Why not? Just keep her at, 80% physical resist. Drycha has nothing to fear. And she's just farming Melkoths now. Now we do have some black orcs coming in, but they shouldn't be a big deal. I will say Drycha's a little overextended, more than I would hope for, but I think we'll still be okay. Black orcs are a tiny bit out of position now, so I should just be able to bully them. And yeah, as long as Drycha doesn't die, I'm happy. And where do my archers shoot? They could shoot at the arrow boys. They could shoot at some squigs, maybe. I have to be very careful that I don't overextend. How's Drycha doing? Still alive. Drycha's Chad. Still get some Elcots on these guys too. Absolutely amazing. And the black orcs are suffering. They're taking a bit of damage from these archers here. And they shall continue to take lots of damage. Okay, Zote's over here. Just have to be a little careful. We can make Drycha invincible again. Yo, Drycha does not die. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, straight up. Just like 0 damage taken. Actually kind of insane. Drycha can even, she's just distracting the like entire army, man. Black orcs get routed off too. Very nasty. Let's get more heals. The blob. Very nice. And then I think we just summoned some dryads right on top over here. My backfield is very safe right now. Aside from these squigs who are killing my glade guard. Let's see if we can save them. But yeah, as long as Drycha can keep stalling, I'm okay. I have to be a little bit careful that we make sure she doesn't just die. So I'll drop a heal. You gotta remember, the lady gets angrier the longer she fights. We've already destroyed the greenskin formation here. I'd say this is a good situation for me, but not a done deal just yet. Drycha is in a little bit of an awkward position. But as long as my archers can keep shooting, as long as the Zotes keep healing her up so that she's just barely alive, I think we'll be okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Drycha's insane. No wonder people run her. You guys seeing this? Just straight up sat in the blob for 50 years. Not a care in the world, man. Drycha, the very angry dryad with 65 melee attack. Well, that's insane. I can't believe it. Drycha actually just out-tanked the greenskins. 2 Night Goblin big bosses. Like it was nothing. Let's see if I can get those squigs murdered. Very nice. Goblins are dead. Squigs are immediately routed. Even though it's a summon, it's worth. Because you want them to be shut down. And now Drycha's offering her buffs. 17 melee attack in this blob. That is nasty. So everything here is effectively dead. I am out of heals though. But that is okay. Let's just keep the physical resist on my frontline units. Keep them alive as long as we can. There's another big boss routing. And then if I just keep my forces together here, I think we're good. Which is why I'm going for 0.3. I'm honestly just doing it because we have a fairly nice lead right now. And I feel like I want to just get that point pressured so I don't have to worry about it later. When you have a really big lead, you just want to make sure that you don't get put into like an awkward situation in a late game. And the only way I see myself losing is by tickets. Because this fight is insane. The Zotes. The Zotes are crushing it. Drycha. Almost full fanatical resolve right now. What is that? Yeah, plus 20 melee attack. Oh my goodness, man. That is kind of insane. Oh boy, they thought they could deal with her. Any other lord, that would just be such a bad overextension. I'd be asking, you know, what am I doing? But yeah, the physical resist boosts, the high armor, Drycha just doesn't die. I don't even think Drycha's gonna die to Azag here in this fight. Though, I guess the battle's not completely over. I am down on Valley Trading. Maybe I have to be a little careful. Maybe I have to be a little careful. As fun as things are right now, my archers are out of ammunition. Interesting how that be. Obviously, I have healing and such, but I don't know why the Valley doesn't like me. In theory, this should be pretty good for me, right? I'm gonna have some cavalry here soon. That Dryad was a bad idea, by the way. I have learned the folly of my ways. Dude, Azag's just dead, though. Okay, I just gotta save myself versus this one last cav push, and then I'm okay. Azag is definitely gonna die. And that should spell the end for the greenskins. There is a chariot push, too. Now, all my archers are out of ammunition, so it doesn't matter that much. But it is still something to be wary of. Yeah, see, this is why you never split all 3 points. What am I thinking? Trying to justify a bad play. I just thought I was ahead. Bad habit. But yeah, this should be good. Those boar boys are dead. Drycha just has to be a little careful about this orc boar boy surround that's about to hit her. In fact, Drycha might even die if I'm not careful, and Azag could rally. That would be the worst case scenario, but I think given how the middle fight is going, I still feel okay. Though Drycha did rout. A little awkward. Just a smidge. I think she's getting hard focused right now. 4 HP. Drycha, no. How the turntables. I see. Oh, and my cavalry's not even charging these orc boar boys properly because they're leashing back. And they're gonna get the Bunes. The 1 HP Wurzag Bunes. Oh my goodness. This might even be throw material, but we'll see. If my Wild Riders can kill Azag before the Buna finishes. Get the leadership charge going. No, they broke. Such an expensive unit. Oh, that's brutal. After a magnificent early game, it appears we are slightly misplaying. It's okay, though. I still have another Wild Rider charge. The Dryads can run away from the pump wagons so that we may kill them. And Wild Riders are still very strong. Now, if I can just kill the Azag, then life becomes a lot simpler. So the hunt is on. I believe the guy is running into the trees or something. Okay, nice. That goblin having super low leadership. Amazing. There he is. Beat him up. Kill him. And then I could resummon Drycha if I really want to. I personally think having more cavalry is the way to go, though. Come on, Wild Riders, push! Kill the man! Don't let him get back on his feet! What are we looking at? 400 HP? I gotta make sure the Wild Riders don't die here. I'm very happy he was not able to get a Buna off, though. But middle point is gonna suffer because I don't have my cavalry there. At the very least, they're pretty good at avoiding some basic orc boys. But I definitely need Azag gone if I want to have a chance of winning this. Wow, one more cast of that. Okay, that's good. Okay, Azag is on the run. Got a pretty decent charge over here. Gonna go and try and steal this point again, just because I don't really have many other options. Maybe I can catch out the cav over there. Point is barely being held. Barely. Oh my goodness, it's gonna get stolen by the pump wagons. We did catch some orc boys though, and I think Azag is down for the count. But he's been saving. Broken Tusk Mob have arrived. Quite terrifying indeed. These guys don't look like they're gonna rout, so we're just gonna dip out of that situation. And instead, maybe secure another point. That guy's not rallying though, that's very good. Okay, this point's gonna take 20 seconds to secure. Dang, man, they really came back. That Drycha snipe. But how do I carry this out? So I need to hold this point then. This one over here. If I can keep them off of it, I'm good. But what do I have to do that? The thing is, Azag's not rallying, so I should be relatively okay. In the meantime, I just need to hold on to this point with the Zotes. Keep the Zotes alive. I am going to secure this one. Gonna get a pretty decent charge over here. I think if I get a Wild Rider, we'll be okay. It's imperative that I start up trading though. That'll be a decent charge from the Cav. They're a little tired, so it ain't the best. But yeah, if I can win this fight like ultra decisively, maybe I have a chance. I'm gonna need some sick Wild Rider charges though. These are the best of the best, however. So in theory, they win this fight. They're doing pretty good versus the Broken Tusk Mob. Jeez. Okay, and he's forced to disengage. Wow, okay. So that's 2 points. It's just a little gobbo over there. But yeah, my vastly, vastly superior cavalry is cooking. And I think we might still be okay. As crazy as that may seem. Though this point might go down. Am I gonna be able to secure this one? We'll see. Oh, he got the squig summon. He really wants the point. I'm gonna knock him off. Charge these guys, and then I'm just gonna I'm gonna give up this point. But if I get the middle, I'm okay. My Wild Riders were not able to hold, but if I can just secure this, I might be all right. The Dryads are doing their best, sticking on it. Oh crap, he's gonna get his cab here. I swear, this is Meaty Dangler's map, man. Every time he plays on this map, he wins. Oh man. Hey, at least this is not the semifinals. I don't get knocked out by this. My earlier matches secure my position very well. But yeah, I kind of just did a dumb and let Azag bait Drycha into oblivion, and then I lost a unit of cavalry. GG, well played.
You have been bested. There is only defeat.
Maybe we face some. Later. Ooh, man, the throws. Drycha, the early game with Drycha was hilarious, but I actually totally threw by giving Azag the Mega Buna, and that was just enough to start pulling it back. Zotes did not do very good. I thought they would be cooler. A fun match, though. Top 4 should be decided very soon. And it looks like it's going to be me, Caradoc, Opal Bear, and Dangler. So we might get an immediate rematch. But I think if I just lock it in, we should be alright. The Wog is here. GG. Can't believe I'm missing the Wood Elf stream. At least I got to witness my boy Dangler beat Ent again. Yo, it's pretty sick. The greenskins are pretty spooky. Dang, that was a hard throw though. I definitely had a great advantage early on. I just needed to not throw away units with the flank summons. I did not consider the pump wagons to kill off my dryads. And that kind of wrecked me. Thank you very much for the 100 bits, though. How do you lose that? Yo, I got greedy with the low HP Azag. I think I lost my Lord and the Wild Rider for it. So that's like a 2,000 gold swing at least. Also, yes, I do have guides on Inticity Guides, the YouTube channel. I only have 2 videos so far, but I will be getting more later. Yeah, I was watching a replay and said never go for all 3 points at the same time. A perfect example of what not to do. Yeah, Azak being so slow running off. That definitely helped. Fun stuff, though. Honestly, it was a very fun match. I wonder if I can do a Waywatcher kite against Dangler's greenskins. Waywatcher kite is weird against that much infantry. You can run into there just simply being too much to kill. Because you can't one-shot them on the shielded side. But I'm very tempted. The next game I might. I might. Maybe some Lord snipe too. Just get like a Sisters of Twilight if he's gonna keep going the foot Azag style. He's on stream though, so this could all just be debate. I need to like flip a coin or something. But all right, top 4. We're almost there. We just need Rowdy and Parmenion to finish their match, and then we're good. I would love to see a greenskin cap rush. I think you should stay in the lobby because it's quite likely we run into each other again, the way the brackets lined up. Oof. I should start building it right now even. Though I don't know the map. I think the map is gonna make the biggest impact. Yeah, map's gonna have the biggest impact here. You know, let's try this. I'm kind of doing like all the Wood Elf playstyles today. It's just kind of fun. Love it still, Neil. What's the map though? I'm hoping for a giant map. Giant map is where it's at. By the way, I will be organizing the grand finals for this tournament soon. This tournament series. So we'll get that organized. And then... yeah. And then we should get some replays soon. You want ogres? Did I do an ogre tryharding yet? I think I didn't. I've been saving the best for last. Some people say ogres is just a better greenskins. Kind of a wild idea. B Falcon. Double dragon kite. Oh, we are against Dangler and it's on Dust Bowl. Okay, Dust Bowl is a good map. Dust Bowl is a perfect map. I'm very interested to see how they decide to play this. The problem for the Dangler is that... yeah, how are they gonna... how are they gonna hide their Lord, man? Lord's basically guaranteed dead. Unless they go for an Arachnarok Spider or they stealth them. There are some stealth Gobbo Lords that we'll see. But that would be Forsaking Buna. River Troll Hag also can get sniped. So... that's definitely very sketchy. Let's see here. I do want to play a little safe. It's very important that I don't just get cav maxed. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? Could try something like this. This is kind of nifty. This is wild. This one is kind of wild. Okay, all right. I kind of like where it's going, though. Chat, help, I'm out of builds. Yeah, I know you got some crazy shenanigans in the back pocket. Just go all in. Rampage my lord. And then win. I think if you get a rampage on my lord, you can totally crush it. Anyways, I'm just gonna be making sure I don't get Buna'd. Like, it's very easy to get Buna murdered here. I mean, not Buna murdered. Well, Buna too, but also just rampage murdered. Just don't give the free value, essentially. It's that simple. What if we see artillery max again? I could cav rush him. A cav rush is always a very funny build, but then if they do have Buna, it's not gonna work, especially with these man-tied strats. What if I'm faking it though? I'm just saying that, but then we do it. Okay, this is a fun build. I think this has a lot going for it. It's just pretty solid. Yeah, it's just a lot good here. Think we can lock it in. Report a problem with his matchup bot, so I'm distracted. That would be a wild strat. It does take me out of the game pretty well. 5D chess right there. My body's a machine that turns decisive victory into valiant defeat. Yo, one of the most important things about Warhammer is you just stick with what you know is good. A lot of the time in tournaments, I always feel like just, you know, trying out something crazy, and it like works out 25% of the time. You should not try to diverge from what you know in the middle of a battle. The learning is to be done outside of battle. And that is how we lost the last game. Sun Tzu would be so sad. But this build, it's much easier. The natural gameplay of this build should stop me from making mistakes. Yeah, what if he goes for like that sick greenskin stealth build? Makes his rampaging lord invisible. Snipes one of my key units. Instant loss on my end. Yo, the Necrofix Colossus. I wish it was more meta. I've seen some people experimenting with it recently, but it's not that crazy at the end of the day. But alright, so I'm thinking I'm gonna run like one more week of qualifiers. And then I start running the tournament circuit. I'm thinking first place $200, second place 100. We can get some sick replays out of that, because I think the players will really want to try hard for it. It should be good. They're gonna be casting the grand finals every single game. And then it's going to be the same format as these tournaments, where you can either lock in one faction, or you can go for counterpicking and do 3x3 matrix. So then we can see faction mains be faction mains and counterpickers be counterpickers. Trying out some goofy stuff. Dangler, were you not listening? You're not supposed to diverge from what you know. If you just took the same build, you might just crush it. Alternatively, if you got the sick reads, maybe you annihilate me. Let's see it. How many units are we gonna see? Because I'm going for infantry kite. If we see a cav max, that would be pretty wild. If there's an infantry build, he's pretty screwed. 16 units. So it's not going to be a particularly crazy cav max. This is Deepwood Scout kite. We got a Dryad here. We got a Dragon Lord with nets. Very nice way to just tease out misplays. I do think we can tease out some misplays from the Dangler. Ready, good luck, have fun. Oh, and we have some replays to cover. Nice. After the stream. But yeah, Swift Shiver Shards overlapped with Deepwood Scouts and Hawkeyes of Jakira. It's just a recipe for mega damage for any cavalry trying to get in. I got Melkoths. I'm basically flooded with sweet, sweet kite. The thing that I have to do is I have to kill his army before we run out of time. That is the goal. You have to make first place more than second place, or both players will split 150 each. First place, yeah, first place should be 200. Did I say that wrong? Second place, maybe like 100. If they want to split it after, it's fine. As long as the matches aren't just complete throws. Alright, we're gonna see a big rush. He's setting up his infantry. If it's artillery maxing, I got arrows of Kurnos. Though I only have the one arrows. What are we looking at? The Skarsnik. Okay, Skarsnik's pretty wild. He's eating an arrows of Kurnos immediately. I haven't Lord sniped Meaty Dangler yet. So this is definitely a rough time. We're just going to get the Melkoths. And how out of position would you like your cavalry to be? The answer is extremely. So we're just gonna blast them. And then we're going to net these guys. Here we go, and then we just kill these ones. They big ol' giant dragon charge. I think that might just be it. That might just be it for Dangler. That's really bad. Oh, he's trying to stealth them? Trixie traps. I can't believe it. Skarsnik's invisible. Okay, he's gonna need some wild plays though to come back from that though. That is an almost 1,000 gold deficit that he's got to deal with now. Wild Riders, very good at bullying here. Yep. Goodbye, Gobos. Very nice. And he doesn't have Buna either, which is doubly rough. Let's keep my units moving. He did get pretty good damage on my Wild Riders with a little bit of a volley there. But I think we're still okay. Let's check out an Arrows of Kurnos over here. Just to bully the cavalry, the Broken Tusk mob. And then I can position myself to get this point. But yeah, Infantry Kite is one of my best play styles. It can be extremely oppressive if you're not ready to deal with it. Because the damage is through the roof. Though the match is not over quite yet. We still have a match to figure out. Some units are getting out of position though. And I can even heal up my cavalry. There we go. That's a murdering. Just a couple orc boys over here. And I'm so confident in my ability to hold the greenskin rushes. I'm just gonna get another Way Watcher. Second Way Watcher is brutal. It's gonna give me that extra kick I need to kill off these archers over there. Gonna get a volley on these guys maybe? Nope. These guys for sure though. I do have another Arrows of Kurnos too. And yeah, these Way Watchers is just bullying those poor orc boys. Still have to be a little careful though. Broken Tusk Mob are coming in hot. And they're basically dead. The Melkoths, man. Melkoths is eating them alive. Yep, there we go. It's gonna get a bit of a rampage here, but there's a bit of an issue. Skarsnik is about to get absolutely dunked on. Because I still have the net. Though I will have to be a little careful about this Cav Core coming in. Skarsnik can wait a hot second. Because I can't afford to die to this Cav Rush. I'm not particularly worried about it though. Because I have this net. Made sure that I landed it properly. You definitely need that. He's left his archers undefended. Perfect time to get him killed now that my Way Watchers are safe. And indeed, the broken or the big guns are just dead now. Then we focus fire the Snotling pump wagons, and then an overextended Skarsnik should be basically the end of them. There you go, big old terror out. Very nice. And then I just need to get one big volley on Skarsnik. Point blank. There you go. That's some very big damage. Okay, now I just need to not overextend and lose these points, but Skarsnik dying is rough. The Black Orcs immediately routed. I don't even know what got him. But yeah, Skarsnik's definitely dead with that volley. Very nice. Enemy Lord down. And I have yet another net in a little bit of time. That's basically spell and doom for my dear opponent. I can even kill off this cavalry from a distance while we retreat to maximize the value that we get. This is the first game where we have a value lead against the Meaty Dangler too. That's just because I am very comfortable with this playstyle. And now it's just a cleanup, as everything greenskin is now off the battlefield. A brutal style, for sure. This is one of the most oppressive styles in the entire game. It's known for being rough because if you don't handle it just right, you lose everything. I don't even know if these orc boys are gonna make it, man. I just have a mega volley. Oh man, that's a big amount of damage. They're just gonna rout. They don't even stick around, man. Yeah, there's nothing he can do to regain value now. GG, well played. You did good. You did good. I think honestly the artillery max build would have been much better. Whew. And that means we're up against Caradoc and Opal Bear. Let me know when done. So that's by far my strongest style, but I can't always take it because I might get counterpicked. Skarsnik, poor Skarsnik, man. I hate you. Hey, Axis, thank you for the Prime sub. GG. Yo, poor Skarsnik, man. Yeah, he got brutalized. The small amount. Hey, they paid for themselves on the dot. Oh my gosh. All your Boar Boy cavalry got 0 value. Except for this one. They got 25 damage and then died. Wait, his cavalry combined got 6 kills, bro. And he summoned more than 60 units of cavalry. Oh boy, that's rough. Wood Elves Part 6 Enter Revenge. Yeah, I was very locked in. I was very locked in there. Dude, they got 6 kills. That's so bad. Oh, he didn't even summon the magic because he knew he was gonna get sniped. Should have just cav rushed. Yeah, I think a cav rush would have been good. If you went maximum cav with spider riders and such, it can run down even for skirmishers. I basically would have needed to like retreat all the way and get some really good dragon terror routes, get some really good branch wraith Melkoths. That's why I started with the cav and the dragon, and I didn't start with this guy, because I knew if I did, I would 100% be dead. This, at least, I think I could fight it. I'd be slightly disadvantaged, but one misplay from you and then it's over, so I was kind of happy with that. Oh man, dude, that's so disgusting though. What was the value on the skirmishers? Honestly, not that insane, except the ROR Way Watcher. But I guess they still had a lot of oomph left in them. Good stuff. Oh, even the pump wagons, man. How'd the archers do? They actually got a few volleys. These two. The archers can be very annoying. Actual bullying. The thing is, though, they do need me to lock in. Like, I think if I make even a few misplays, Meated Angler wins it. We've seen that twice now. So I really have to make sure I don't slack, because they are fully capable of wrecking me if I'm the one making the misplays. I'm excited for the finals though. If we face Caradoc, we did beat them earlier today. Caradoc is playing Beastmen. And the grand finals map is Skollendir's Cave. I always fat finger that beat. But yeah, it's on Skollendir's Cave. That's a very big map. Maybe I'd do it again. Inticity Mega Kite. Maybe. The thing is, though, I'm always so susceptible to getting cav rushed. We did see Caradoc is pretty good at not overextending too. They kept their Zongors alive very well. Alternatively, if we're facing Opal Bear, Opal Bear Black is playing Skaven. Oh, please give me Skaven. Come on, man. Give me this Skaven. Come on, Opal, you got this. Entering the ladder for the first time since Warhammer 2. Any tips against Beastmen or playing as Beastmen? I assume you mean playing as. If you're playing Beastmen, your bread and butter. Every build should have 4 Centaurs in reserve. You should always, like, this is the most vanilla of vanilla Beastmen builds. This is just your bread and butter for, like, almost all of your games. In fact, I'm gonna make it even more chill. You're gonna go, like, Malagor. Malagor, Flock of Doom. You can't really go wrong with that. You just spam Flock of Doom. That's it. Yeah, that's actually it. You just spam Flock of Doom with Malagor. He'll get lots of value, and you can rear charge with them to rout off units. -4 leadership is height. He has a sick leadership aura to keep units on in the battle. But you always want this infantry. You always want these Centaurs. Razorgore Herd are also really good. You always want 2 Harpies. Only use them for anti-air. Don't use them because you need an emergency unit. Because if you If you do that, they just downtrade. So you gotta resist the urge. If you struggle versus single entities, Gorables with nothing on them are really strong. And then you can kind of play around with the rest of your money here. Either you go for like maybe a bit of terror action. Chimeras are very strong if you just want an overtuned unit on ladder. Though sometimes they can be hard to micro. There's a little bit of finesse with them. If you just want like a basic easy build. Yeah, this will probably get you pretty far. Just a bunch of Zongors with archer support while they're busy trying to deal with a million gores and ungores. They're just getting shot into oblivion. These guys have really high DPS. Then you start spamming your cavalry. Your cavalry trade pretty well into theirs if you can get a 2v1 going. Raise a gore herd for armored cav. And you basically just overwhelm them. That's it. I think this is just like the Beastmen bread and butter. If their infantry is a little too strong and your gores aren't punching through, you get best of gores. That's it. Yeah, that's basically it. Are Wood Elves the roster with the least useless units? I think Bretonia might actually be the one that sees the most play across the board. We see every single Bretonian unit be used. With the exception of like maybe Men-at-Arms are a little less common. But like you see Peasants, Grill Relique, Men-at-Arms, Polearms, Pilgrims, Squires. You see the Regiments of Renown, all the Archers, all the Cavalry, with Royal Hippos being the least common, but still used. See the Trebuchets being used. You see the Green Knight, Damsels. Paladin less often nowadays. Gotrek and Felix not, but like... it's a very good roster. You see Fae Enchantress, Prophetess, Lewin, and Alberic. They only have 2 lords that don't see play. For Wood Elves, let's take a look. Wood Elves, you're missing out on War Dancers. You're missing out on Blade Singers. So they are missing out on more infantry than Bretonia. They have a similar hero thing where a lot of the heroes don't see play. A lot of their lords don't see that much play either, like Orion, Ancient Tree Man. But their archers see play, their cavalry sees play. Minus Hawk Riders, minus Treekin and Eagles. And the Tree Man. And the Dragon. So while Wood Elves see a lot of their cavalry and infantry, monsters and beasts kind of set them back. It's not as good as Bretonia. Is there one we can do better though? Slaanesh definitely not. All the Chaos factions have infantry bloat. Coast, yeah, they have like these bats that you don't see often. Though a lot of their roster does see play. No Terrorgeist, no bloats. They have a bit of a mono lord situation. Maybe ogres? Ogres see a good amount, but man-eaters are a little off, and yeah, all the cavalry's gone, never mind. Sad bloat noises. It's funny to think at one point Malagor couldn't fly. Actually? Was Malagor a footlord before? Oh, Malagor couldn't land before. Your knowledge is insane. Thanks, man. Thank you. I don't hear that too often. And honestly, this game is so complicated. It's so easy to not know a lot. The fun thing about this game is that any faction specialist will generally know the faction better than me. I'm very much so just a generalist. All right, rules and format. How are we gonna do the grand finals? I think the grand finals It should start June 8th. Or maybe June 12th. Okay, you know what? On June 12th, the double elim challenge brackets will be set up. Players must DM me if they'd like to go for a they'd like to play a single faction the whole tournament or counter pick, similar to my free pick tournaments. The games can be played at any time. That way we don't have to organize a single day, since we're getting players from all around the world. Malachor was straight up a footlord for years. Dude, what? I'm happy I missed out on that. Dude, Warhammer 1 was so jank. It's cool that they released Warhammer 2 so quickly afterwards. Warhammer 3. I still don't feel like Warhammer 3 is as good as Warhammer 2 at its peak. Maybe it's rose-tinted glasses, though. Games can be played at any time. But players must make an effort to be free. Let's see here. How much is reasonable to arrange games? To be free, if I win, I want your stream key? My stream key? You crazy. What would you even do with that? Yo, that'd be funny though. It just becomes a meaty dangler stream. Players must make an effort to be free. I don't know. At least 3 days a week. To play matches. 3 days, I don't know, let's say like 1 hour per day. I think if you can't be free for 3 hours in an entire week, you know, including weekends, I think that's on you. But you have to at least be able to propose 3 days, 1 hour segments that you can get your matches in. I'm gonna do 2 hours a day because it's a best of 3. And then let's see here. Yeah, games can be played at any time. Players must make an effort to be free. Let's see here. So it's a double elim best of 3 challenge bracket. You feel like Warhammer multiplayer is so slept on? It's pretty hype. But I can see why it's a little slept on. CA don't really support it much or advertise it. So a lot of the hype dies down when you get in like one balance patch every 6 months. With mods though, we fix that. So it's not rough. I will instate WOG Wednesdays. Love it. You get frozen at the army builder. Wish they had better recommended builds. Yeah, dude, autogen sucks. Oh boy, look at this. What is this? What is this autogen, man? It's not really auto. Well, it's less autogen, more random gen. You can see a little bit of method to the madness, but this is not how you should be making builds. And the chevrons are even worse. At least it's not heavily chevroning everything. It seems like it's saving chevrons for last, so I guess that's something. Still bad though. Random build challenge. It would not go well. Random builds set you back thousands of gold. Just from having bad units and also having all the abilities on your characters. Like, what is this? Why? Autogen should just, like, look at it. You're already down 1,500. This guy gets most of his value just by having one spell. Or 1,300. That's the equivalent of me just chucking my Cold One Knight into the enemy army at the start of the match. Worse even. It's very bad. And they're done. All right. It is time. Beastmen. I'm playing Woodies. We got the map. Let's see how this goes. Might be funny to see an expert player handle a random build gen. I think it would be very funny, but it's just such a disadvantage, man. It's a huge disadvantage. If I ever do find a way to make it work. Let's see. So it's Beastmen. Treekin Doomstack. That sounds terrible. You know how I said like 1/3 of the roster is not usable? I mean, so if you do auto-gen, 1/3 of your army is just not usable. That's real rough. Okay, this ain't too bad. The big question is, how does one defeat the Zongors? How do I want to do this? Beastmen are... They're not the craziest faction. I think I might need this spell. No, I just don't like it. I just don't like that spell enough. Maybe I'd take this. This will be a fun build. I'll have you know. This will be a very fun build. Okay, maybe I could mix it up. So last time they used Flock of Doom shenanigans. It was very annoying. There's ways you can fight Flock of Doom. This is always a good strat. Yeah, alright, this feels good. And then I need something to beat up. I guess Dryads are just generally good. Is that the unit I want here, though? Is it the unit I really want here? Oh, hell yeah. You know what? I like this build too much. Let's do it. Do random gen, but you join the tourney as a new player. That just becomes bullying, though. It's weird. Because for new players, it's not the build that screws them, it's the misplays. So I'd basically just be abusing every single misplay that the player makes. And that wouldn't be too difficult. It's kind of hard to find the perfect middle ground. Because I think most people who kind of it's either like you know how to beat it or you don't. So I don't think we'd have close games. Oh, I should change my banner. Let's go with this one. Actually, I already did that one, right? Yeah, you guys know Wood Elves actually have a ton of banners. Most of them are green though. Which is kind of boring. Random build gen versus chat, King of the Hill. I will say those boss fight ones were pretty fun. But if everyone does random gen, very hard to enforce. All right. Just some messages. Is Caradoc gonna do it? Can they defeat the Widdies? Wood Elves is probably my second most banned faction when people are counterpicking me. It's either Slanesh or Wood Elves that they target. They're a very comfortable faction for me, though apparently Beastmen is quite good versus Wood Elves. Yo, Greenskins. Greenskins, half the roster is useless. All right. Let's go. It is time. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna cover some new player replays, and then I'm gonna call it a week. I've gone for the Anticity Classic. Skirmish Cav as far as the eye can see. A glorious build that is very annoying to deal with. I got cavalry up the wazoo, as you all love to see, at least as I love to see. Got a sick caster here. Got a slow. We got heals to counteract the Flocks of Doom. And this basically sets me up for a very nice long game of Kite. Now, there are ways to beat this, like with Zongors, but the map is so big, I should just be at a good advantage. Gonna turn off fire at will here. They're still gonna shoot anyways though, because the game is dumb. There they go, just firing away. But overall, it's not too bad. Now, I'm gonna have to split a bit. This problem, right? It's gonna Flock of Doom me. I don't want to offer those opportunities. So what we got? We got a Chimera. Okay, sure. Chimera pretty spice. It is nerfed though. It's not nearly as scary as it would typically be. It's mostly melee units. So I think what I can do is just start spamming some archers here and use them to get a little bit of work done. Lord here can just heal up the damage from the Flock of Doom. And therefore it is not a very big issue. Now I just have to hold this point for a little bit. So if I just counter the Flocks of Doom with healing, it's all good. Let's get a volley on that Chimera real quick. Ooh, big stagger, man. Dude, these guys do a lot of deeps. I'm still maintaining the triple cap, which is the most important thing. Okay, and he's decided to go for it. It's fine by me. Not a very big deal. Units over here are taking a lot of deeps. I should be able to maybe get a volley on that Chimera. I think it's just gonna dodge though. That's not very worth it for me. A little bit of cycle charging will go a long way. It's gonna chuck another Flock of Doom. Gonna chuck another Earthblood. And the battle goes on. Both sides just getting the early game skirmishing in. There's really not much about it. We'll say they did brace fairly well for that big old charge, but I think we're still doing okay. Should be able to bully a few of these units. I have to be a little fast about this. So the crazy thing is, if I'm a little too slow, I just lose on the DPS race and life gets very bad. I can't afford to have that happen. I need to keep up the pressure. And I need to slow them down so that they cannot secure all these capture points. That's a very nice heal. We're gonna get a terror out there too. Glorious. Okay, this ain't too bad. A lot of my archers here are still alive. Just have to be a little careful about the Flock of Doom. I think it's still on cooldown though. And can I get a big hit on that Chimera? Pretty good. It does have a nice stagger animation, but pretty good deeps overall. Let's turn off fire at will on these guys again. We're just gonna keep dancing. No reason not to. I'm getting some pretty good damage here. A lot of my cav is still alive. He's gonna chuck another Flock of Doom, but he only hits 2 units. Oof, and man, that volley. Yeah, these guys hurt. And I just need to be more efficient than the Flocks of Doom. So where they hit 2 units, I heal 4. If I keep that up for long enough, I think we'll be good. Chimera's chucked out a breath attack, but it doesn't do very much damage. And it's gonna... Ooh, nice dodge. Okay. Gonna juke a little bit, but still kind of suffering. Overall, though, I think we're doing really well. On the ticket race, I have no issues whatsoever. On the magic front, I'm getting some big deeps. I just need to not commit myself to a horrendous fight. Easier said than done. Like Chimera can definitely get some big work in if I'm not careful. So I'm just going to give it a bit of space because I still mostly want to focus on the up trades here. Was that just a Flock of Doom? That's okay. I have a heal ready for that. I think... Oh, okay, I think I barely got those guys healed. That's good. My archers are continuing to get pretty good chip damage in. Though I think my skirmishers could be doing slightly better here. It's still pretty good for me. Especially if I can keep bullying the cavalry here for my opponent. They only got so much oomph in them. Lord should be relatively okay. Chimera's just going for it though. That's pretty crazy. So that tells me he probably just wants to take a fight. But the Chimera just got hit by my Lord for a ton of damage. Gonna get a pretty nasty charge over here too. Oh, okay. Kind of overcommitted with those Wild Riders. Gotta be a little careful about that. He chucks out the Flock of Doom. It doesn't do that much damage though. If I can rout off this Chimera, I think that solves most of my issues. This should be a pretty decent pull away into my formation too. That should be a nice speed amp. Okay, and Chimera is effectively gone. But how bad of a fight will this be? I think the routed Chimera is good. But this could be slightly better. The cavalry fight. The way it's panning out is just slightly uncomfortable for me. So I think I'm just going to pull back. Let my archers continue to shoot. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, there's just too much infantry here. And that's really messing me up. So my skirmishers are still doing well. This is a mosh pit situation, which is very bad. I'll get a heal here. But I need to keep disengaging. Oof. Okay, so for the Chimera, was that worth it is the big question. I don't know. It really depends. Value Tracker says it's not the best for me, but it's not factoring in the heals. Just analyzing the battlefield, though, it's not perfect. We have them slightly overextended, but we lost a lot of good cavalry there. They also lost a lot of cav, though. And you gotta factor in just how overextended their army is. I think it's not the end of the world, but I need to focus on pulling it back a little bit. Right now we're getting kind of bullied by the infantry. I should be able to defend the home point though. Lord, I should be able to keep alive. Okay, that should be a solid pick on the cavalry over here. Very nice. And yeah, these dogs won't be able to hold this point. As long as I micro that well, I'm happy. This is a fairly good engagement over here. A lot of units getting routed off. Nice. And there go the dogs. Wondrous. That's okay. It's very okay. I just need to keep the disengage going. Still can't afford to stick in this fight. I've done a good job getting building up my mobility advantage, but yeah, I gotta dip out of this situation. If I get shoved into the corner, that could be the end of me. Looks like they're escaping fairly well for themselves. How's this fight going though? Not too pretty. Yeah, nah, this ain't too good. I do have a lot of time to secure another point. But that's a big route, bro. It's actually a massive route. Oof. Dang it. That Zongor bush. Okay, maybe I can get my opponent stuck in a bad fight, though. As you see, this fight is not great for him. I have a lot of cav coming in. I should be able to just dive in there and get a lot of work done. And I have some sick spells and such. If I can't win this little pocket, then I can't win anything. Okay, that's a fairly good route. Let's get a big charge in here. Lord should be able to get in. I'm gonna have more Wild Riders. This should be pretty good. Big heal, big terror routes. You love to see it. It's an okay fight. And I might be able to win the mobility advantage here. If I can do this just right and win the mobility advantage, I think we actually have a pretty decent chance. But I need to micro my cavalry well. They must annihilate all the large units here. And then I have to work towards resecuring my capture points. It's not a terrible situation. In fact, this is quite good, the amount of routes that I'm getting here. But we're still not quite in the clear, unfortunately. Getting the capture point is good, though. This Beastman army is quite horrifically out of position. And the cleanup crews will do well. My cavalry was made for this. I just have to make sure I don't get overextended or anything. That gore herd unit should be dead. Really good. And they may just run out of units if I play this out just right. I should be able to kill the Slongors too. I think I want a really nice rear charge with these guys. Gotta pull away from the Flock of Doom that will inevitably hit. Whoops, those Wild Riders. Misplayed the Wild Riders a little bit, but we did tear out the Slongors. They do come back. The Zongors, though, can I get them killed? It's gonna be nasty. It's a lot of skirms here. Okay. Slongors should be dead, though. Pretty nasty route of my cav. Okay, but I should be able to kill these guys, surely. You can see he's just kind of hunkering down on that last point. He knows that's really all he has to do. But I got a pretty decent fight here. I could go for the far side, but that's very risky. Okay, no, they went for the War Gore. Interesting. So how much time do I have? How much time do I have to go for that last little pocket? So I think the game entirely depends on that. We'll see. I imagine they're going to be spamming some dudes here. But if they're slow on the rotate, maybe. Maybe. It's going to be nasty, though. I don't like how this is playing out. Okay, there's the big rotate. So maybe I can catch them out. Some Centaurs are a little bogged down. That's good. Okay, and this is a fake out. So this is a pure fake out. I need to secure this middle point. Come on. So I'm just gonna full disengage and then pull everything into this situation. I think this is the only way I can win it. Unfortunately, there are two war gores here. I think that's probably just gonna end me. But I'm gonna go for it anyways. And fingers crossed, we just secure this point. I certainly have a lot of cavalry. Okay, we caught some of the cav here with the Wild Riders. The capture point is mine. Question is, can I capture it soon enough now? This is the scariest part. So infantry are routed. Do I win on a one cap? Oh, that's gonna be sketchy. I don't think I'm gonna get it in time. They're even starting to capture this point. I think he's done it. Yeah, unless I completely hammer this area, I think we're just dead. Dang, man. That one big engagement is what did it. I got stuck in the melee when I should have pulled away. Well played, though. And GG to Caradoc. Some solid Beastman play. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't think I can win this. GG. Well played. A solid back and forth. I had a pretty good early game, but the late game wasn't it. Oof. What a tussle. I really needed to just avoid that spearman stack. My archers getting caught out was pretty rough. They did pay for themselves in the end. I was hoping like getting the chimera kill would be it. But going for the Chimera was a little rough. Dedicating myself to kill the Chimera, while very good to have it off the battlefield. If you don't win the cavalry fight after, you're just on the back foot. Well, congratulations though. Let's take a look at the values. Yeah, Mongol Horde wasn't able to beat the Goat Tide. My other option was to try going for the Weight Watcher Kite, which I think might have been good against the Chimera. It really depends on how good the Chimera micro is. I also was a little slow on my rotations between the points. Beastmen are pretty fast too. That makes it a little harder, but the big issue was I just wasn't able to win my cav fights. There was too much infantry support. Glade Riders were sick though. Despite only being summoned once, they all got their value. But I fear, yeah, look at that value. 1,000 on one of the Ungor Spearmen. Absolute brutality. Yeah, people are picking up Gobbo stacks. Dang. Malagor also, lots of value. We did counter most of it with the heals, but... Whew. Tough one. Regardless, it'll be fun to see them in the finals. They already won once, but always good to see people coming back for the training. Kiradoc, congrats on the win. We'll go ahead and DLC of your choice, please. We'll do some of that, and then I need to get the raffle going. I'll do that after I take a look at the replays though, just in case we have people sending in last minute stuff. Replays. Yeah, I'll cover one since I'm a little tired. Bada bing, bada boom. New player stuff. It's Vampire Coast, which is very fun. Let's see if they applied what we taught earlier. Let's see here. I need to get the names going. Let me just open up the site. How do I... Okay, I'll figure it out later. Oh, there we go. All right. First things first, though. Battle. What we got? Silostra. We got some Scurvy Dogs. We got some Lamprey's Revenge. And a bunch of infantry. Very standard. This should be a good match of just kind of explaining how Coast does. Nice. So we got the DLC. This is just a solid way to see some Ghost gameplay. This is very similar to the Undead playstyle, so if you feel like playing Tomb Kings or Vampire Counts, you can also do something very similar. Just instead of deck hands, you go for your appropriate chaff zombie unit. Very standard. We see a little bit of a misplay with the Lamprey's Revenge getting overextended. A little bit of a spell that actually gets dodged. Very nice play from Just over here. And they're going to be pushing on to the first point. Now with the Beastmen build like this, there's not very many units. There's a Chimera. This means Beastmen are generally going to be trying to uptrade because they don't have a lot to actually hold the points. So what you want to do is to just force yourself forwards and win by tickets, because it's going to be very hard to uptrade generally unless they misplay. This is good though. Solid target firing. And then there's just going to be a slow march forwards. You got some zombies moving into some Ungors. You can't really pick and choose your fights. You just have to make sure that you don't open your gaps up too much. Otherwise, maybe some infantry can get in. And I would say this is a little bit too slow of a push. Although taking your time to kill the Chimera is definitely worth. But the units could be pushing a little further. Personally, I wouldn't go for this point. Beastmen are anchored pretty hard there, but they don't know. But generally speaking, the closer point is easier to take. By going for all of them right now, it's a little sketchy. And this is going to put Vampire Coast slightly out of position. Now, a Chimera kill is still huge. But yeah, you totally could have just slipped some zombies onto this point to get it secured. And then, once this pocket is dead, you go in full force. I believe you even have some dogs. Dogs are really good at recharging infantry. But now Beastmen get a pretty good fight. They have almost all of their units in on the action. But it's not the end of the world, because you have some very high value plays. So Silostra right now can use her Ghost of the Past summon. This is what we were talking about earlier. We're hoping for just a mega cav wave to murder these archers. Because you can see how much damage they get done. Then they can hammer these Ungor Spearmen, and then you're just winning. That's just like immediate pickup of value. But Silostra's a little AFK today. A little rough. The dogs on the far end get caught by cavalry, not used to cycle charge the infantry. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself if you should be going for an aggressive mobility play or a defensive one. It's very easy to think, I have mobility, I should be flanking with them. But why? Why do you need to flank? The only thing you would want to flank are these archers, but they're miles away. They could be much better served defensively. Especially because Beastmen have that terrifying cavalry. This is a good fight though. There's going to be a little bit of poke damage. Silostra's now active too. She gets a big old tide call on the Ungor Raiders. And there's the cav summon. Beautiful. Took a little bit of time, but I like that it's finally here. Now we got to take a look at the efficiency. So what they need to do is just route off the units. And as soon as they route, ping pong to the next one. Good charge on the Ungors. We terror out one of them. Maybe overstaying their welcome a little bit, but now they're terror routed. So what I would love to see is a turnaround and hit these guys. And then hit these guys. The unit is so high DPS. And so important to the build. You have to make sure that you're not squandering their value. Now that they've already routed off the archers, they're easy to route again with the tide call. But they're taking a little bit of their sweet time. And they only have 13 seconds left before they start crumbling. But they could have routed these guys. They could have routed these Ungors. Now they turn around. That's good. And then it should be an instant hit on these guys. Because these ones are going to route anyways. Or even the Korngors is good. Tide Call's pretty good against them just because they have low armor. It turns out. I'm actually surprised how much damage it did considering they spell resist. But it was a good Tide Call cast. And the Knights Errant at the end of the day, well, they get 170 kills. They get 500 gold value. That is fine. It's a good amount. They can do more, but at least we saw it used to kill the archers. But now we're in kind of an awkward position. So Vampire Coast is very likely going to capture this point. A little bit of misspending leads to mass Moringles. But what do you do from this point? You've triple capped your opponent. You're up in value. What do? You guys know it. I forget it sometimes. But it's consolidating. So these Moringles are now out of position. If your opponent were to spam cavalry, they may just die. But if you group up your army, it's almost impossible for your opponent to come back. A little bit of a Centaur charge. Oh. Oof. Massacred by the pole arms. But yeah, I think it should really need some consolidating. Beastmen are obviously very behind, but you don't want to accidentally give them a value lead. I think they're basically dead though. Butchers and Kalkengard are grinding. Barring some extreme misplays, you should be able to maintain the value lead. Lots of zombies is good. And Vampire Coast late game, you save up for zombies and you just resummon the entire stack. Big old massacre over here. And this is looking pretty good. By the way, don't overblob with your infantry. In fact, never stack your infantry. As a rule of thumb. Unless you really know what you're doing. But yeah, I think this would actually be more interesting to look at from the Beastmen side. How do Beastmen win a game like this? Generally, it's not a great matchup. I don't think they like facing Vampire Coast, but Mass Slongors can do really well. And basically, you just pick one fight at a time. So instead of standing your ground here when Coast is barreling in, you can go for a big flank. I would highly recommend a lot more infantry. If you're playing Beastmen, Vampire Coast can sometimes get overrun. And probably just skipping on the skirmishers. You might be worried about the Lamprey's Revenge not having something to kill them. But if you just ignore them and play keep away, your opponent's effectively 1,700 gold down. And then after everything's dead, it's pretty easy to mop them up. So yeah, probably just like get these guys into reserve, fill out with Slongors and more Ungor Raiders, and then you're pretty much good to go. Make sure you have something to deal with the ghosts of the past and you're good. GG. Now, I am pretty tired. Had a long morning. I will go ahead and do the raffle now. Let's see who we got. We got Opal. We have Wasto. We have Hamza. Kluhu. Chaluchu. Nice to see that they're coming back for multiple games. We got Risotto. The Gamer. We have Eddie. Just JP. Lots of signups today, actually, or lots of people going for the raffle. Meaty. Dangler. Parmenion. And Caradoc. Although Caradoc won, so they won't be entered a second time. We'll give it a spin. Unfortunately, I'm not screen sharing because I don't want to accidentally show off all my tabs. You never know if someone's gonna spot something crazy. And Chaluchu has won it. Really nice. Tournament prizes. Congrats at Chaluchu for winning the raffle. DLC choice, please. All right, that's it for me today. Enjoy the weekend, people. Next week, I am going to be finishing up this series. I'm going to be finishing up the qualifiers. And then we'll be setting up for the grand finals soon enough. Should be quite exciting. I think we'll be seeing some insanely sweaty plays. And it'll also give me a lot of talking points about just general tactics that we see from people. I do want to start a tactics series where we do the deep dive on the plays that these top players are making. Obviously, I lean in very hard to one play style, but infantry play styles, artillery play styles, and the like. The options are endless. So, I'm pretty excited. But I think that's going to be it for me today. Now, I did promise a raid yesterday, but I accidentally logged out of Twitch. Let me see if I can just drop you guys somewhere. I'm so ready for the weekend. As much as I enjoy streaming, it is a lot doing 2 channels, streaming, and having editors work on stuff at the same time. I am positively tired. Still had a great time, though. This is actually really fun. Hosting these events. Especially since Turin hasn't been doing as much. Nothing wrong against that. The guy likes Heroes of Might and Magic. But I sense a vacuum. The power grab from Anticity. This whole time. I can't believe he would backstab Turin like this. Okay, anyways, jokes aside. Peace.
Zach, whereas otherwise he come